Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the TL capacity building. Let's refresh a little bit why we are here and why we are learning these things. So the objectives of the TL capacity building is understanding our core as an organization, understanding our role as team leaders, getting the knowledge and the skills to be the best team leaders and to become experts in team management. So the idea is for you guys to actually become the best team leaders that you can be for your members and how you can actually implement team standards in the best way possible, not only just implementing them for the sake of implementing them, but doing them in the best way that you can. So we're going to start with the monthly review for the team. So one of the team standards that we have is inside performing is performance tracking. Inside performance tracking, we need to have team weekly, monthly, and quarterly review. So for the review of the week, you have your team meetings, and we have already created a video about that. I hope you have seen it already. So in regards to weekly team meetings, you're supposed to be already super experts, and also because you already have some experience. And now, what about the monthly and the quarterly review? Have you actually done it since you started your term? Have you actually delivered this team standard? Has it been delivered for you also? So this here is gonna be a moment when we are gonna understand why do we need to do it and how to do it. So the idea of the why is actually to track the performance, how what we have done so far from the things that we have actually set as goals, how much did we accomplish, and how far are we from that goal, and what are the things that we need to actually change, what are the actions that we need to change, evolve, improve, so that we can actually get to that goal. So, what to take into account when organizing a monthly or quarterly review, we have some topics like the agenda, the team, the time, the duration, the resources, the output, and the accountability. So here I put it like very described so that when you have the booklet, you can read it. But first of all, we need an agenda. We cannot do just a monthly review, like randomly telling our members to come over and we'll just, oh, this is what we did, and that's it. We need an actual agenda so that it can be organized and we can get as much objectives done from this space as possible. Then for the team needs to be totally present. It doesn't make much sense if a member is absent. Of course, if it's like there was no other way that this person couldn't come, it's going to be understandable. But try to do your best to put this in a space, in a moment, in a timing where your people can be present, and even if they're not present physically, at least having the option of having them virtually. So you can also create like team spaces, bonding spaces, or feedback spaces for your team in this monthly review or quarterly review. These are two events that can actually be used for this, so that your team can bond a little bit more. They can get to know each other a little bit more. Then for the timing, set an actual agenda as we said before, and actually have a start and an ending time so that the work is the most efficient that it can be. And for the duration, I would recommend, for example, 2 hours of like the official agenda to last. But if you're going to have like a team space or a feedback space or a bonding space before or after, like at the beginning or at the end of this review, those spaces, like, you can take as much time as you think your team needs. Then what are the resources that you're going to need? So are you going to need any materials for the team activities? Are you going to need any flip charts, markers, maybe to co-create with them the strategies for the next month, or the PDP or the tracking tool of your team, whatever it is that you're using to track your team? Is it updated so that you can actually understand what was done? If it wasn't updated, then update it before going to the space so you can have total clarity of what is it that how far are you from the goal. Then the output, it's very important that this type of spaces can actually have an output afterwards, so that they can get, the sustainability of the information of how good they did each month and how they are improving. So for this, I would recommend you have a PPT. Would recommend you have a PPT for the review, in which you can put like the things that were done, the things that were planned, what was accomplished, what wasn't accomplished, and this PPT can be saved as an output. And also, the PDP tool needs to be updated every time. And for the accountability, just continue with the accountability system that you have had with the team so far, and continue to update the PDP tool. So for the recommended agenda that I have created, for you guys. So you can start with the check-in expectation settings. What is this space? Why do we need this space? This can be like a 10-minute space checking. Then if you're going to have a team activity, it can be like at the beginning of the day, so that you can start the day by bonding and feeling a little bit more as a team. Or you can also end the review with a team activity. I put it as optional in both spaces. Then you can go into the why. Okay, why are we doing what we're doing, and how is it connected to the culture of our team, to the values that we set in the beginning when we set the identity of our team, and how this culture is going to take us to actually perform better, and what do we need to do. Maybe we are not respecting the values of our team, or maybe we should improve a little bit on this. Then a performance review, where the results and the actions that you took so far in this month or in this quarter, it depends on what space it is. You can have a break, and maybe you can have a space of hacking the bottlenecks. So what are the actual bottlenecks that you have had? And maybe you can discuss what are the different solutions that you can propose. So there's a lot of ways of having brainstorming, or finding solutions for bottlenecks or problems. And you can just Google it maybe, or we can also provide some ideas on how to do these spaces. Then check the next month. What is the next month or the next quarter plan? What are the actions that we're going to do? And then you can have a feedback or a team sensing. Okay, where is our team so far? And how are we driving our team? Do we need to be better in this? And maybe feedback for the whole team and a closing. So it's not a very difficult agenda. It's just a flow that you need to be following. So it's like, okay, why are we doing this? Who we are as a team. Then what did we plan, and what did we actually accomplish? Then why didn't we accomplish? What were the bottlenecks and the challenges, and what do we need to do next? So it's a very simple flow, that you must be following, even if you do not put this agenda 100%. So some tips here, like you can read them more carefully later, but for the team, just as I said, make sure that you're there. You can have a building space, you can have feedback space. Always drive the culture of the team. These are the points that I put here so that you don't forget. Then for the resources, you can have like sessions with them. Maybe in this space, you can use it, for example, to actually develop some soft skills in your members that you think that they may need, that they can find useful in their lives later. You can have the PDP tool and the tracking tool to be reviewed. Of course, it should be updated. And then team moment resources, whatever you need to create this team moment. Then for the output and accountability, so we have the monthly and quarter review report PPT, as we said, like so that they can have a report of results and actions, and then the PDP tool for accountability and tracking, so that you can actually have this to update every week. So how are we going to do this? I put some slides that you can use as template for your PPT of the review of the team. And what you need to do is just create this performance review for them, and you can follow the next flow. So actions taken. What were the actions that you planned at the beginning of the month? The ones that you put in the PDP tool in the first team meeting. So you had action one, action two, action three, action four, and the idea is for you to color them in green if they were done, in yellow if they were in progress, and in red if they were not done, so that you can actually understand what was done in your team and what was not done, even though it was planned. And then for the next month or the next quarter, what are the actions that you need to take? What were the things that were not done and you need to do, or what were the things that you were already planning to do? Then for the team challenges, you can have a space of hacking these bottlenecks, as I said before. So you can do a brainstorming, what were all the bottlenecks and all the challenges that we had as a team, and then what other solutions can we see for these bottlenecks and for these challenges. So you can actually propose actions and solutions for hacking these challenges that we got. And then the results, like the actual numerical results. What were the results that you plan to have, and that you actually had? So here I put them as plan versus done. So for example, we got 5 out of the 10 approvals that we planned. So then you can put it also so that it's more visual, in green if it was accomplished, in yellow if it was like really close, like 70% of accomplishment or something like this, and in red if it was not accomplished, like it was very, very away from the goal. And then for some TM results that it can be useful for you, and it can also be useful for your VPTM. So you can actually understand the productivity of the team. So, okay, if you have 5 members and you did 5 approvals, then the productivity of your team is 1 approval per member, which is really, really good. But if you did 2 approvals and you have 5 members, then the productivity of your team is low. So this would be something that you can actually talk with discuss with them about how we can improve. Same as retention rate, how many people actually left from your team, how many members achieved their goals in the team, what was the team standard implementation by your side as a team leader towards them. Did you actually do the one-to-ones with them? Did you actually do the team meetings with them? What was the response rate of your team in the global engagement survey, so that you can actually also help the VP's team push for this, since this is the way that we're going to be tracking the team standards. Then the presence in the touch points. So are your members totally ghosts and they're not there, or actually are they always present and participating in everything that they can? How many of your members got educated through the NEC of each function and the pipeline? So this is this last one is just when team leader applications are out. So if, for example, if you have 5 members and your goal is to make 3 of them apply for team leader, like, okay, how many of them actually did it, so that you can understand also how much did you actually engage them with the organization and how much they got encouraged to continue. Then for a team performance sensing, so you can actually assess the performance of your team, like what were the team strategies, the main 3 strategies, the main 3 wins, what are the things that actually went well, and what are the three things that you want to improve. And then for a team sensing, stop, start, continue of your team. So what should we stop doing as a team? What should we start doing as a team? And what should we continue doing as a team? So how do we actually plan for next month? So this was all about the review of the performance and every action that was taken. So now we need to think about, okay, let's plan for the next month. So here in the goal setting video, you have already seen the backward planning, so I will not explain it again, but you would have to like co-create with them the lead measures that are going to take you towards the lag measure that you have as a team. And then once you establish the goal, you should go to the PDP tool and update it in the monthly one, in the monthly chart. What is the team goal planned for your whole team and for each member, so that then we can actually track how many members achieve their goals. And also make sure that each one of your members updates the organizational goal that they have. So in this moment, they can actually set their 3 monthly priorities and what are the 3 actions that they're going to do per week. And then you can actually week by week track them on this. So it could be just this one space in which you put all your members to actually fill the PDP tool and make it so much easier for you to actually implement. And then for the quarter review, it is basically the same thing. Like, you still need to have a performance tracking of the quarter review. So it would be just replicating the monthly review and adding in the slides after the monthly one, the goals planned and the goals done, also add the ones for the quarter. So what was the goal for the quarter, and was it done or not, and what the actions for the quarter, and if it was done or not. And actually think about what were the accomplishments that you had and what were the challenges that you had in this quarter, so that the next quarter you find it so much easier. So some tips and tricks. So use the space to deliver to your team a lead space or an educational space. Like, it's going to be a moment when you're going to have the whole team together and you can maybe contribute to their development as a person and as a professional. Then use the template PPT. You can just copy paste, for example, some of the slides that I showed you, so that you can have like your own adapted to your team with your pictures or whatever you want to put to adapt it to your team. Maybe you have colors of your team, the culture, the logo, so you can actually adapt the whole report to just your team, and then save this report so that you can have accountability, and you can even like send it to your VP, like, hey VP, I did a monthly review. Here you have, this is what the team did, and this is what we think we can do next month, and then you can co-create with your VP also some more actions. Then focus on members achieving their goals. If your members are achieving their goals, then the team is going to achieve their goals, which is very, very basic. And if we are not tracking it, or we are not putting actually a goal at the beginning of each month, it would be impossible for us to actually track this measurable. And do not underestimate this space. It's a really, really important space. The review can give you a moment of more engagement, of more connection with your team, and also much more clarity of what needs to be done. So for the checklist, organize the monthly review at the end of each month and a quarter review at the end of each quarter. Make sure that all your members attend the space actually and they're present. Prepare an agenda and a PPT for the reporting the results and any other session or lead space or education that you can provide. Prepare it in advance so that your members can have like the best monthly review. Then review the PDP tool in the organizational goals and accomplishments and the personal development that they set before, and actually co-create the actions for the following month. and update it in the PDP tool so that everything can be updated. The VPSTM have a tool now that can be linked to your PDP tool directly. So if you use the PDP tool correctly, your VPSTM will have their life so much easier because everything will be automatic. So yeah, guys, the PDP is very, very crucial also for this step. So I left here the tool just in case if you didn't have it so far. So thank you. And if you have any questions, let me know.